Whatever the causes of modernity are, the church need not be threatened by it. Why? Because the modernization process only confirms that the Holy Spirit and Christ and the church have taught. All human beings of whatever nation, race, gender, or economic status are brothers and sisters, children of one Creator in heaven, and are called to love one another as God has loved us. Modernization has disclosed that we do not and cannot live isolated lives. It shows us that we can be fully human only insofar as we are open to the other in dialogue and in mutual support. What does that mean? If the other is only a head nodder to me and everything I already agree with, am I really open to dialogue and challenge? Okay, so that's not authentic community. And putting the name Catholic on it don't make it authentic. The Second Vatican Council, the most neglected reality by Catholics these days. Show of hands, please. How many of you have read the 16 documents of the Second Vatican Council? And they're online. The Second Vatican Council. Let's challenge ourselves to read these documents, okay? You can get them online, Google. In English, Spanish, Portuguese, Creole, Ayasan, whatever language you want, they're there at the Vatican website. Second Vatican Council, 1962 to 1965. It was the largest and most representative council of the Church's history. The first truly small c Catholic council, in the sense that it had bishops from around the world representing different cultures, not European men sent over to those places, then representing those places, but actually people from Africa, from Oceania, from Asia, bishops from these places, from Latin America. Do you understand what I'm saying? Catholic, small c, like in our creed. Sunday. It was the largest, most representative council of the Church's history. Bishops drawn from every major continent and culture. With this council, the big C Catholic Church began to move from being a church of cultural confinement to a genuine world church. The single most influential personality associated with the event of Vatican II is perhaps the greatest pope of the 20th century, somewhat forgotten by my generation, perhaps never even known. Pope St. John XXIII. He convened the council and set its tone by the style he himself had adopted as pope, namely that of servant shepherd. Vatican II, Pope John XXIII insisted, was not condemnations, not anathemas, but rather for updating the church for the sake of its own spiritual vitality, relevance, Christian unity, and world peace. The Second Vatican Council's pastoral constitution on the church in the modern world, not the church and the world, the church in the modern world in the church. These problems we talked about the first 30 minutes. In the church, and the church in those problems. The Second Vatican Council's pastoral constitution on the church in the modern world, called by its first phrase in Latin, Gaudium et Spes, joy and hope, appropriately viewed the crisis of modernization as a special opportunity for the church. Not as a negative, as a positive, as, wow, this is a great opportunity to evangelize. How about that for a difference? In the face of such developments, it said that more and more people, whether they're Catholic or not Catholic, Christian or not Christian, believer or atheist, religious or atheist, are raising the most fundamental questions about the meaning of human life and asking them with a new sharpness and urgency. What is humanity? What is this sense of sorrow, of evil, of death, the avalanche of social problems which continues to exist despite progress that has literally taken us to the moon? What is the purpose of these victories purchased at so high a cost? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, 6 million Jews dead in Auschwitz, in Dachau, in all these other death camps. What can we offer to society? What can we expect from society? What follows this earthly life? Sad to say that Vatican II is not the only Christian and religious response to modernity. There is another determined response, and it exists entrenched in Catholic churches, my friend, as well as non-denominational Protestant communities. And it is opposed to Vatican II and what the Holy Spirit was leading us to and is still leading us to.